Hey everyone, how are you doing? This is a new look right here that I did. It is a quick weave system. I did an invisible part quick weave system. It's all sewn in, and none of it is glued. So I guess what does that make it, a 3/4 wig? I don't know. I don't even understand the lingo at the time. This is my first time doing an invisible part. I actually hated them at first because I was like, I'm not putting glue in my hair, like not that much glue at least. Um, so because of that, I went ahead and did it with it like this because again, I don't want to leave my hair out. One, my hair is red. Two, my hair is natural. And I just didn't think that it would make sense to leave my hair out if there was other options. And me and my homegirls have been looking for other options. Um, we've been looking for other, me and my homegirls been looking for other options for the longest time because most of us are natural. So we're like, how can we do our hair and not leave it out, but do what we're trying to do? So we've been doing like closures and like that kind of thing in the meanwhile. Some of us, at least, some of us have been just leaving it out. But I thought this was a good alternative style to doing a full closed weave or wig. So I really like it thus far, just for the fact that I don't have to leave my hair out, but I can still have a weave or a wig or whatever you want to call hair. This is regular beauty supply hair. Um, I'll show you pictures of the brand because I don't remember. I'll show you the packages I bought. Um, but thus far, I only had it for a few days and I've been liking it. I made it a long time ago. I probably made this, yeah, a month ago. I made it in the first week of January when I had my break off from school. And it's just like, it just goes from light to darker. So it's like a light brown and then a dark brown in the middle and then a black on the top. Um, so all the light colors really pretty much underneath. And again, I don't know, it's my first time doing it and I'm really liking it. Overall, I can say I really like it a lot, and I can see why people who are natural specifically, not just natural, like I can see why people who are natural really find this as a go-to style to doing the hair. But the only thing is that for me, I think this part is way too big. Like the gap here is too big, and this is my second time sewing this down because, as you all know, I don't really wear wigs, like just clip them on and take it off. I usually sew it down. Although this one happened to fit my head really comfortably, so I only sewed it down where the part was and I didn't sew down anything else. So the rest of it, there's a clip here and there's two clips in the back. There's two clips up here. The first time I sewed it down, I clipped it in, sewed it down, but it was too tight. The clips and the sewing down made it way too tight. So this was like that was pulling the braids apart and separating them even more than they were originally. Um, that was a big problem for me because it was really hurting. So I took it out and I undid the clips and I sewed it back down, but now the braids have shifted. So the braids have separated themselves. So now when I sew it down, the braids I've already separated, so the part looks bigger than it does originally. In the video of me actually sewing it on, you'll see the part doesn't look this big. But do I dislike the part? No. I mean, it's not that big of a, like, I prefer it to look more natural by having like a smaller part. Like me, I just feel like my part should look more natural, and I don't like the fact that things worked out like that. But for my first time, I don't hate it. Um, it was an okay alternative to what I usually do. So I do like it. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh, I don't like the way it looks and I hate it, because that's what I was saying before I did it. I didn't like the way it looked most of the time, just because that big old gap, and I don't like that big old gap. Same way, but I don't know. It it is what it is. I don't know. I can't really do anything about it at this point. I just won't braid my hair as fine next time because I thought braiding it smaller would be better, but it's not giving me the support I need to sew onto. And I feel like next time I'm not gonna clip that thing in the beginning because it's not doing anything for me. It's not really. Like, I probably move these clips down somewhere over here, like way down here, so that I just have some support until keeping it here. But I mean, I'm not gonna clip it up over here because it's just not. It's just too tight. It's not doing anything good for me. Um, but you know, it's my first time, and you live, you learn. It's just how it goes. I ain't even mad. Like, to me, it's just this is my protective style for the winter time. I just want to say thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy watching how I put this look right here together. Um, Here I'm using my finger to measure the part. I also use the same finger to measure the part on my wig, so this should have a uniform and a natural looking part length. Here I am braiding my anchor braids. I have two braids on each side, one to clip onto, one to sew onto. My anchor braids are what I use to ensure the part is sturdy and stays in position. The braids are around the perimeter and your anchor braids are the most important braids. Here you see me doing a braid that's going to be on the side of my head. These braids need to be a medium size. If it's too big, it's going to loose out quickly, and if it's too small, it's not going to be sturdy enough to clip onto or braid onto. Therefore, it may even cause damage to your follicles if you're pulling on it too hard without having a sturdy braid to be able to take that kind of tension. So it's important that when you're doing the braids in the perimeter and the anchor braids, that they're neatly done and that they're very sturdy. Here you see me redoing one of my anchor braids because I did not feel as if it was sturdy enough, and also it didn't start close enough to the beginning of my hairline, the braid has started too far back, and if it starts too far back, then you won't have anything to sew onto in the very front, and it will start to raise and lift and be noticeable that it's not sewn down. So at this point, all I'm doing is braiding in the middle and filling it all in, but I'm ensuring that it's all braided down flat enough so that you don't see any lumps or bumps when I apply the wig. I hope you can see clearly that there is also an anchor braid at the bottom of my nape going across my perimeter for me to sew onto. So now that I'm finished braiding, I've braided all the ends together and I'm sewing it down and across just to ensure that it's all flat at the top so there's nothing you put at the top is going to be flat at the bottom too because there's a space in the middle that I ensured would be there so that I can have that to sew into that gap that you can see clearly right there. So now I am applying the wig. I'm using the clips to clip down to the second row of ankle braids because I'll be sewing down to the first. But please remember at the beginning I said that I went back in and took these clips out because I felt that it was too tight and it was pulling. So now I'm sewing down the part where the wig is. So I'm sewing out from the very tip of the part right into the middle of the part. You want to ensure to sew it down from the tip so that it's all flat and there is nowhere that's sticking up where you can see underneath or tell that it's not all sewn down. Now that I have sewn down both sides of the part, I'm just using my flat iron to flatten the part so that it looks even more natural. And I'm just going back over it and flat ironing my hair a little bit. And here I have tied my head down for bed to make sure my part was flat and my hair stays neat. So this is just me getting ready in the morning the next day after finishing my application of this wig. I just wanted you to see how I would brush it in the morning to get it to sit the way I wanted it, and also how I styled it with my flat iron. Also, please take note that the part is smaller at this point than it is um, during the beginning of this video, because as I mentioned, the parts start to stretch apart because of the clips. So I do recommend not using the clips and just simply slowing down your part if that's how you want to wear it. Thank you for watching. This is the end of my invisible part video. Please feel free to ask any questions if you have any. I hope to see you again soon and make more videos. Ta-ta for now.